Coming up this Tuesday, April 29th at 7 p.m. at the Desautels Concert Hall, there will be a very special concert that features new music written by one of Manitoba's finest up-and-coming pianists and composers, Ari Hooker. Called An Evening of Premieres, this concert will feature music for solo piano written by Ari Hooker, as well as the first movement to Hooker's first piano quartet in C minor. Joining him on stage for the piano quartet will be violinist Gwen Hoebig, Karl Stobbe performing on viola, and Yuri Hooker on cello. And joining me here in studio to talk about his upcoming concert, I am joined by pianist and composer Ari Hooker. Hey Ari, great to have you here.
Hi Chris, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So before we get any further, can you tell us what we just heard?
So the piece that I just played was the sixth piece from my new set of 10 children's pieces called Childhood Memories. That sixth piece is called Horsing Around. So there's a lot of play and fun all over the place in that one.
Before we get to the concert, I have to ask, we're almost at the end of another university school year. You're a student at the Desautels Faculty of Music. How was this past year, and how was another year of studying with David Morose?
It was great. I grew a lot as a pianist and a composer. It's always busy. There's always a lot to do. But if you love what you're doing, it never feels too stressful or taxing.
Mm-hmm. The concert on the 29th is a full-length program consisting of all your compositions. How did you get into composition, and have you been taking composition lessons at U of M?
I started composing seriously in grade 12, in my last year of high school. I had kind of dabbled around in it a little bit for my whole life, but never really took it seriously until high school. When I just sort of, one day I started just trying to compose, and I started creating things that I liked and that I was proud of. And so I sort of just ran with that. I did do 1 year of composition at the university. I was doing a double major in my first year of both piano and composition. But then, I just decided to focus on piano for the rest of my degree. So I do have a little bit of formal training, yes.
Right. You've also grown up in a house surrounded by music. Your dad, Yuri, is the principal cellist at the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. Your mom, Michelle, is a very fine pianist. Would you say that this has been helpful for you when it comes to composition and orchestration? I'm thinking in particular here of how to write for strings in an idiomatic way.
For sure.
It's a skill, right?
Yes,
for strings,
yes.
Right?
And it's a skill that I definitely do not think I've mastered yet. There's always more to learn with something, with anything like this. But no, definitely growing up in the household that I grew up in certainly gave me an affinity, I think, for writing for cello, and also a love for just the cello. So I think I have a decent idea of how to write for that. But certainly, like, just all the music that's playing in the house all the time is, you don't think you're really like paying that much attention to it when you just live around it all the time. But it does go somewhere in your head. You do absorb it somehow.
Yeah, through osmosis.
Yes, yeah. And so that certainly has played a big role in my formation as a composer.
Mm-hmm. I interviewed you and your dad last year, and the two of you were performing your Sonata Epica for a concert. The name Nikolai Medtner, when I was prepping the interview, popped into my mind. Are you still influenced by Medtner? And can you talk about some of the other composers who influence your musical language?
Certainly, I still have a great love for Russian music, for Medtner and Rachmaninoff and composers like that, and they do still influence my music greatly. A piece that you'll hear later, the 8 concert etudes, a lot of them are inspired by that style of romanticism. But lately, I've been drawn more to more 20th century composers, especially French ones. I've been on a bit of a Ravel craze lately. I've also become deeply inspired by Prokofiev. So still certainly still of that sort of classical tradition, but with a more expansive harmonic language.
Yeah, still early 20th century,
yeah.
that era. One of the piano works you're going to be performing on Tuesday is your childhood memory piano cycle. I was on your website. It was a commission. Can you talk about how that commission came about?
Yes. So we've been doing these house concerts at our house for a little while now. And one of the ladies that attended, she's a big supporter of all the arts and all the music. Her name's Lucienne Blau. She asked me if I'd be interested in taking on a commission, which was for her grandson. She wanted to leave something for her grandson. And so I thought, why not compose a set of children's pieces for her grandson? And so I set to work, and I just finished it a couple months ago, really. It's a set of 10 pieces. They're all composed with a certain romantic idiom, but they still have a spirit of innocence to them. They all have a certain simplicity and balance. They're intended to progress sequentially, more or less, in difficulty from 1 to 10. But also they're intended to take the listener sort of loosely through the day in the life of a child. So it starts with waking up and ends with bedtime. So there's a certain logic to the set of pieces as well.
Fantastic. You're also going to be performing your little suite for solo piano. What can you tell us about this suite? And again, it's another commission, right?
Yes, this commission was from Barbara Graham. It was for her sister and her sister's husband to commemorate 50 years of marriage. And her sister is a concert pianist and an educator in Ontario. I'm forgetting where in Ontario, but in Ontario. And so I wanted to compose something both idiomatic and virtuosic for piano, and also that would be meaningful. So that suite consists of 4 movements. The first is a slow prelude, and it has a certain sort of quiet stillness to it. The second is entitled Valse or Waltz, and its character is a lot more playful and unpredictable. There are sort of violent outbursts worked into every phrase. The third is a heartfelt elegy, and then the fourth is a virtuosic and dazzling toccatina.
We were talking about composers influencing your harmonic language. If you could take that suite and who would it sort of most shine through?
If I had to pick one, it would be Ravel. It's very, it has impressionistic influences to it.
And harmonies as well. You're also going to be performing the first movement of your piano quartet in C minor, and you're going to be performing with Gwen, Karl, and your dad. You've grown up with Gwen and Karl as family friends. Can you talk about what the rehearsal process was like, putting this new music together with 3 people who you've known all your life?
It's a very interesting experience. Yeah, it's interesting for the dynamic to shift from very, very close family friends to basically colleagues. But it's a super rewarding one, obviously, and it's such a treat and a thrill to be able to play with such a quality of musician that they all are. So it inspires me to keep writing and keep searching for more opportunities to play with them.
And so you're playing just the first movement. Is it a work in process? Are you still finishing it up? Or
it is actually complete now. I completed it a couple months ago. But there's only so much you can put on one concert. Of course. It's just a taste of what's to come.
Looking ahead to after graduation, are you planning on going to grad school? Are you going to do, and if you are you going to do a double major in piano and composition, or are you going to focus on piano or composition? What are your thoughts about after life at U of M?
I'm not sure at this point. I mean, I certainly want to have time to just compose all the time. As much as I want more instruction and it's good to continue developing, there's also a point where you just have to sort of shape your own voice without so much influence from others. So at this point, I'm undecided. I'm certainly not opposed to more instruction, but I would like just to be able to compose full time.
Yeah, just sit down and focus on it.
Yeah.
Ari, this has been so great. I'm going to wrap up the conversation by asking what you're looking forward to most about performing on Tuesday night.
Just honestly, the privilege of sharing my music with the public and getting to show everyone what I've been creating on.
All right, this has been terrific to have you here back in studio. I'm sure the concert on Tuesday, April the 29th, is going to be fantastic. Thanks so much for taking the time to stop by and chat with me today. And I understand you're going to perform one more piece. Can you tell us what we're going to hear?
Yes, this is the 5th etude from my set of 8 concert etudes in B-flat major. It is brilliant, a little bit humorous, and yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.